The library smelled of old books, dusty pages, and fresh ink from the printers. But for one young girl hovering near the entrance, the scent wasn't adventure. It was despair. Her name was Lila, a skinny 10-year-old with messy braids and eyes that held too much sadness for her age. Her dress was faded, her backpack worn thin, and her fingers clutched a crumpled note from school. She had skipped lunch again, trading her meal ticket for bus fare to get here, hoping the quiet shelves might hide her from the world while she figured out her homework. But not everyone saw libraries as safe havens. The head librarian, a stern woman named Miss Hargrove, noticed Lila wandering the aisles without a book. Miss Hargrove didn't see a lost child seeking knowledge. She saw a loiterer, a distraction, a kid who didn't belong among the serious patrons. Lila whispered a question about using a computer for her assignment on stars and planets. Miss Hargrove's lips pursed in annoyance, and in front of a few readers buried in novels, she snapped harsh words. She grabbed Lila's arm and marched her toward the door like she was a thief, scolding her to come back only with a parent. Lila tripped onto the cool steps outside, her cheeks flushing with shame, her vision blurring with unshed tears. She tried to swallow the lump in her throat. That instant was pure devastation, a child, eager to learn but rejected, peeking through the glass as others typed away on screens while she sat empty-handed. She didn't yell. She just slumped against the brick wall, hugging her knees, too weary to walk home yet. If you believe no child should ever be denied the chance to dream, if you believe in open doors and small gestures of empathy, please take a moment to like this video, share it, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. Together, we can remind the world that understanding matters more than rules. Moments after Lila was pushed out, the distant hum of music drifted down the street. One by one, colorful vans and trucks rolled up, their sides painted with murals of guitars, drums, and wild graffiti. Neighbors glanced over, murmuring curiously, the street performers had arrived. A troupe of 12 artists, with wild hair, piercings, and clothes splashed in vibrant patterns, parked and headed toward the library. Their vibe carried a free-spirited energy that made Miss Hargrove, the strict librarian, immediately tense her shoulders. She had handled noisy groups before, but these folks weren't the kind you shoot away lightly. Lila raised her head at the sound of laughter and clinking instruments. For a second, worry gripped her too. She'd heard tales, like everyone, about street artists being chaotic, unpredictable, rebellious. But what drew her gaze wasn't their bold tattoos or the chains on their belts. It was how one of them, a woman with rainbow-dyed hair and a guitar slung over her back, spotted her by the wall. The artist paused, knelt down, and smiled gently. Her name was Zara. Her expression warmed when she saw the girl's quivering chin and fidgeting hands. Lila hastily brushed away a tear, ashamed to seem fragile in front of someone so bold. Zara didn't speak at first. She just rose, signaled to her friends, and strode into the library with the group. The heavy wooden doors creaked open, the quiet hush breaking as heads turned toward the colorful crew filling the space. Miss Hargrove forced a polite grin, already uneasy, rushing over to ask what they needed, her voice suddenly formal. The artists pointed to the community room near the windows, the same spot Lila had eyed wistfully before being ejected. They settled in, instruments clattering softly, and the library fell even quieter. Ms. Hargrove distributed flyers about rules, masking her nerves, but as she pivoted away, Zara's melodic voice halted her. "Hey, that girl outside, why she huddled on the steps?" The query wasn't light. It was pointed, intentional. Patrons perked up, eavesdropping. Miss Hargrove stammered, muttering about the child lacking supervision, about how she couldn't allow unsupervised kids disrupting the peace. She chuckled awkwardly, trying to brush it off. But the chuckle faded when Zara leaned in, her painted nails tapping the table. The other artists gazed steadily, their faces calm yet firm. Then Zara declared, "Bring her in. We'll help her with whatever she needs on us." Her tone left no space for debate. Miss Hargrove paused, her ego clashing with her caution. But when another artist, Jax, rose tall with his drumsticks in hand, looming quietly, Miss Hargrove bit back her protest and headed to the door. She beckoned Lila inside, her expression stiff with reluctant courtesy. Lila entered hesitantly, the cozy air enveloping her once more. Her gaze flicked nervously to the shelves, confused why she was welcomed now, until Zara waved her over. the girl perched at the edge of their circle, barely daring to exhale. Then magic unfolded. A volunteer, sensing the shift, fetched a laptop, books on astronomy, and even snacks from the break room, crackers, fruit, and juice, more resources than Lila had accessed in weeks. At first, she just gaped, her fingers shaking as she touched the keyboard. She murmured a soft thanks, then doubled slowly, her curiosity sparking as she typed. The artists didn't mock, didn't rush. They watched with gentle encouragement, some sketching stars, others humming tunes about the cosmos. Zara pulled out her guitar, strummed softly, and said, "Kid, learn as much as you want. Today, you're creating with us." In that heartbeat, Lila wasn't a rejected girl anymore. She wasn't invisible. She was inspired. Ms. Hargrove lingered by her desk, seething quietly, her authority dented. Readers who had once overlooked Lila now murmured with regret, realizing they too had stayed silent when the child was dismissed. The mood had transformed. A message was being etched right there in the afternoon light, with open books and painted canvases as its medium. By the time Lila finished her project, printing a star map with pride, fresh tears brimmed in her eyes. But these weren't from hurt. They were from joy. Zara slipped a small notebook into her bag and told the volunteer to note it as a donation. Then she looked at Lila and said, "Kid, remember this. Don't let anyone dim your spark. You hear me? Your dreams shine bright." Lila nodded, her voice too choked to reply. Those words would echo in her forever. If this story warmed your soul, please like this video, share it with someone who champions curiosity, and subscribe to Kindness Narratives. Let's spread tales that show empathy outshines exclusion.